My name is Madgarou, and today we are going to go into the FFBE Esper guide that I created. And overall, what this guide will do is to cover how to level and train each Esper, how to unlock each Esper. And so, in order to unlock each Esper, you need to level the Esper to the max first. And I'll show you in a second. But if an Esper resonates with the element, which is on the top of each Esper in this guide, and I'll show you that just in a second, you can get 1.5 times the experience by using that element. Not every Esper will have that, but you can do that. You can also expand the grid points by using Esper ores, which acts the same as super magicites. So what we'll do here is go into the Esper gauge here, and I will show you Bahamut right now, which is here. So you can see that he is level 2. You can enhance, and in order to level up, and you can see that he's max level, and I will just state that soon we will get a level 3 version of Bahamut. You can use what are these magicites, megasites, and supersites. And Bahamut's one of those that is elementless, so he doesn't get any buffs in there. And you can level him from 0 to 30 for level 1s, 0 to 40 for level 2s, and 0 to 60 for level 3 or 3-star Espers. And also, if you want to enhance grid points, let's go, since I've got some black Esper ore here, let's go to Diabolos. And what you can do here is with the black Esper ore, and you can see because it's dark, it's a 1.5, you can increase the SP by 3 instead of 2, which is a 50% increase. And the SP then allows you to train, and I can add in, if I want to, a whole nother element or item, like I could get drain here or sleep. But I'm trying to save up here. Looks like probably for the ST reflection boost here, but more than likely I'm going to go with the dark resists here, so that's 20%. And you know what, because I am going to go with the dark resists, I'll show you. Here's the sleep, so I just spent 10 in order to get there, and so I need to earn 10, 40, 120, 210 for that one. And if I want both, it's going to be 290, 380, and that's a lot of Esper ores. In order to get Esper ores, I'll show you how you can create those. You can create those right now in crafting, in items, in other items. You can see that you can craft Esper ores. Regular Esper ores are just generic, so if you're using a elementless Esper, you want to use Esper ores. They cost 15 relics apiece. Red Esper ores cost 20. You want to use, if you're going to be leveling up, say, Phoenix that has fire as an example, you can then use red Esper ores to, they will give you better bang for the buck. But for units like Bahamut and Lakshimi as examples, they don't have an element, or Asura, so you're going to have to use the Esper ores, and that is actually fairly expensive at 15 just to get 2, where for the colored ones you can get up to 3 SP for 20 if you use the correct end. Also, the stats, I will show you at the stats that unlocked rate or unlocked state, and also a sample grid for each Esper and explanations on why I chose it. What I will not cover though is how to defeat each Esper. So how will this guide work? So you can see that this is Siren here. above on the left, you'll always see the crystal she's water here. So anything that has water supersites or Esper ores will give her a bonus. I will also show what the skill will do. You can see that I have water and magic color coded damage, and also like Siren's very interesting as it inflicts sleep, and I will tell you what the damage is at 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, and if there's anything additional like sleep, 1 star, 2 star, 3 star. So you can see that the water here is there, and the magic, and some are magic based, most are magic based, and there's a couple that are actually physical based, and you just need to make sure because and I'll explain why. Also, I'll show you the water here. This image that's always on the right is where you can find this unit, so it'll allow you to be able to identify where exactly this unit can be. I'll show base and max stats, and also I will try and show a sample skill tree for each with the what would be the highest level. So if it can get to 3 stars, it will be fully level 3 stars versus Bahamut and Asura that can only be 2 stars, and I'll show a sample fully level 2 star tree. And I'll try to give a reason why. So how to level your Esper. So here we have the evoke damage is calculated. This is kind of important for a lot of people because not everyone understands. So here we have this magic ratio and spirit ratio. Magic SPR ratio is usually 50-50 unless specified. Envy Terra is unique. She has 100% magic ratio for evoke damage, so the spirit ratio will not be part of it. And instead it will just be unit match squared times 1 instead of match squared times 0.5 plus spirit times 0.5. The damage is a fixed style damage. So what does that mean? It is not affected by dual wield, weapon element, or any killers. So you're not going to get any enhanced damage through killers, but it can be modified by elemental resistance. So if it's strong against an element or weak against an element, it's part of the modifier here, along with a chain multiplier, which is usually up to 4, and only general mitigation. So if it's a physical mitigation and or a magic mitigation, it will cut through it and it will completely ignore that mitigation. That's why Envy Terra and summoners can be incredibly powerful, as a lot of bosses have this intrinsic physical or magical mitigation, and because of that mitigation they become very strong. But summoners just cut through it and can do obscene damage to enemies where others can't even touch. Evo damage is capped at 300, so this is also kind of your final variance. It can be directed to a single Esper or be for any evoke damage. So you might see on Espers, like say for Diabolos, you will see ST summon for Diabolos 10%. So it will give 10% more of this multiplier modifier here. Evil Magic is another thing here where it's flat damage, so it's 100% is 2x multiplier. So basically it caps at 300, and you can just put it in here. It's 1 plus, so if you have 0 Evil Magic, it's just 1. If you have 100%, it's 1 plus 1. 200% is 1 plus 2. 150% is 1 plus 1.5, etc. Evil Magic is different from evil damage. So if you can cap 300% for evil damage and 300% for evil magic, then that all gets added together here. And you can have 400 here, and then you'll get an extra multiplier here, which is your evil damage. It's kind of, evil damage is kind of like your killer enhancement there. I know I don't want to complicate it too much, but that's how we treat it as. So Lapis Espers. Let's start out first with Siren. So Siren's your first Esper. Um, and sorry, I am actually in the wrong part of the area here. Oops. Back. Select world. Lapis. Da, 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 da. So on Grand Shelt Island, there's actually a decent amount of Espers here. The first one, you literally start out right here, Siren Tower. Go through the Siren Tower, and then fight Siren. It's an AoE water magic damage of 60, 120, and 210x, and inflicts sleep at 50, 60, 70%. This is the weakest Esper overall. Its base stats are all average. Max stats can get up to 7,000 HP. And also, just to read, Espers can transfer some stats to your characters. So if you have max HP here, 7,000, it will transfer 70 HP. Or if you divide by 100, it'll transfer that much HP and round down. So if you have like the full MP here, it'll give you 65 MP to your character as well. What's the interesting part is has 50% water and minus 50% lightning resist and gives you 100% sleep resist. You can add 20% more water resist to this as well. Some spells, it has blind, silence, cleanse, bar water, and bar watera, which actually might be useful. Also, you can use water and watera in case you need the elemental spells. Skills, camouflage, which allows you to theoretically be targeted less. That is a useful skill. Hero's Rhyme, Defense Song, Paean, and Angel Song and Chant, they're all bard abilities that lock you into singing. I use Hero's Rhyme for the occasional Mog King if I'm just dragging a level 1 unit throughout there and I want to give some additional buffs. Hero's Rhyme is actually an okay skill to use. So overall, the sample tree here, you can see that I chose Hero's Rhyme, a reflection boost, and the water. You can actually, instead of doing the reflection boost, grab the additional water here instead. That might be a better overall option for you. As I say, there's a lot of different builds that you can do. Sometimes with the stat reflection boost here instead of the bewitching evocation. So this gives 10% more stats. So if we get an example here, instead of 70, it would be 70 plus another 10, so it would give you 77. I like them as stats, but honestly, an extra 10% water resist might be a better choice. You can always build there, but honestly, Siren should be one of the last, if not the last, Esper for you to max out on your ring. And it takes a very long time to max out Espers in this game. As of now, right now in January 2021, there is a very limited amount of these Esper ores for you to get, and so Siren's not really worth your time. So the next unit here is Ifrit. And Ifrit is actually here in Infernal Howl, but what you do is you actually go first into this port city Lodin and talk to two specific people, number 1 here and number 2. And this map and all the maps that you see have been taken from the FFBE wiki, which I will have underneath here in the comment section as well. And also just to note that each of these summons, I will put a link down below in the information center as well to tell you so you can click a link to instantly go to each summon, so that you don't have to go looking for it in my overall video here. So once you talk to this person here and the second person here, you then go to the orbital port where there's a child below the potion vendor, and that one I'll show you here. You'll talk through that, and then you'll slip through the top right. So this child right here. Exit out. And then it will unlock the Ifrit Cave, also known as Inferno Hollow. And once you get through all of the stages Inferno Hollow, you'll unlock Ifrit, or according to him, Ifrit. He does AoE fire magic damage at 70, 140, and 235x. It's a fire magic. It is actually, now, from here on out, each of the Espers will give a lot more damage overall. You can see that the interesting part here is higher HP, higher attack, but much lower magic and spirit, and a little bit more defense. Really key though is Ifrit can give you up to 70% fire resistance, gives you negative 50% ice resistance, and 100% blind resistance. Also gives you 125% physical beast and plant killers, and these are very important. Generally, the most important part about the Espers or your summons is these killers, and also gives you 75% magical beast and plant killers. Some key spells here is Bar Fire and Bar Fire with Fire Firaga, and then other skills Provoke. But in all honesty, the only thing that you really care about are these killers, and then looking at the stats. So what you can see here is that I stocked up on all the killers here. Then I just kind of stocked up on stats. There's just no way for you to get the fire resist as well. Do not get Berserker. Berserker will completely make your unit useless. It will only attack with your auto. It is literally the worst skill in the game for your Espers. Do not get the Berserker. Otherwise, you can take a look here. Honestly, the next important stuff, I believe, are the fire resists, then your reflection boosts, and then maybe blazing evocation. But really, if you want provoke, provoke's okay, but it's a little low on the overall totem pole. The next one is on the next island over in Lanzelt, is Golem. Golem is an interesting Esper. It's here in the Zedal. Actually, it's here in the southern lands, but you actually unlock it in the western lands here. It is a skill that mitigates physical damage, and physical damage only, at 50%, 60%, 70%, depending if it's 1, 2, or 3 star, for 1 turn to all allies. This can be very important if you know that either you need to keep the mitigation up, or if there's a big physical boss that's going to do a super attack, you can eliminate up to 70% of all the damage through that. Then if you also guard on top of it, you get another general mitigation on top of that, which will greatly lower any damage that you take. So the 1-star Golem can be obtained after you defeat it in Zedal Sutherlands, which I show you here. To unlock it, you must talk to the boy here in the Western Lands in the exploration. Find water, which is here, to bring it back to him, and then when you exit out, the Zedal Sutherlands dungeon will be unlocked, and you can go through here and go see Golem. So, Golem is a very defensive unit, high HP, okay magic, low attack, low magic, low spirit, but very high defense. Has 50% up to 70%, 20 extra percent earth, minus 50% air. And you'll notice that Espers will give and take away overall. Elemental resist and give you elemental resist, so it will always be a trade-off, and gives 100% paralyzed resist. What's annoying with Golem is it has very rare physical and magical killers of bug and stone at 125 and 75 for physical and magical respectively. But in order to get all four killers that are available, you have to add SP or you have to add Esper ore in order to unlock them. It is impossible with the amount of SP that they give you naturally in order to get that. So it is pretty annoying, and they are rare. And I do highly suggest that you focus on Golem just to get the Stone Killer. It's both Bug and Stone Killers. It's not much that you need to do, but it is enough where it is annoying. Key spells is Protectica, Poisona, Deprona, and Cleanse. Also, you get Barstone, Barstonaga, Barstonra, which you will use more often than you think. Also, key spells Stone, Stonega, Stonera. It will give you a cover and provoke passive. The cover passive is really annoying, but it is, and I'll show you in a second, kind of in the middle of the chain here. So if you can avoid it, it would be nice, but after a while, if you fill it out, you kind of have to take it out. It will also give defense plus 10% and HP plus 10%. That's not to its max stats, that's to your stats. Once again, this is a tank's dream. So if you're going to have a cover the tank, it might be okay, but it can still mess up some of your overall plans. So try and avoid cover. So you have your provoke here with the cover. Luckily, the cover you can't avoid. Do not get this. It is an annoying skill. It's not as bad as the previous where it makes you berserk, but still, it is a very annoying one. I went with the extra earth resists. You can try and go through and get as much as you can here, because you can see that you have to go all the way through here. So instead it'd be 30, 90, 90, and you need 120 SP here. I went with the 20% resist. Once you have enough, you can... I probably should have moved the Spirit 15 to attack 35 here, just to get you guys closer. Really, what's ideal would be to move the Spirit to the attack, grab these and this with the SP. That will give you almost everything that Golem really needs. The stat reflection boost might be interesting at 10%, but it's not really all that needed. Alright, next one after this is Shiva. And Shiva goes from Wolfgang Peak here down to Landsalt Mountains, and this is a very long quest. I won't say it's the most annoying one. The most annoying one is Bahamut and Asura. But getting Shiva is actually hard, and it is very easy to miss if you don't know where you need to look. So, the 1-star Shiva can be obtained after you defeat here in the Landsalt Mountains, which is actually a very hard place to find. To unlock the dungeon, you'll have to go to Wolfgang Peak here, go to the exploration, which is at the very end of Wolfgang Peak, defeat the boss there, the Frost Dragon. Once you defeat it, you'll see a notice saying something collapsed in the distance. There will be a tree that will be knocked down in the east, and I'll show you that in a second, giving you a passage previously inaccessible. From that, you can exit this eastern part of the map, and the dungeon will be unlocked in Landsalt Mountains. Shiva uses Dark Purple, has AoE's ice magic damage at the same rate as Ifrit, but with ice. So you can see here, you have this one here, and then you go to Landsalt Mountains through B. Actually, sorry, it's right here. Not here. Here's the Lost Village of Marlow, which is another secret place. You actually want to go here, go through here to B. B gets you to the Landsalt Mountains. This is another secret place that gets you to the lost village of Marlow. So don't forget about that. Shiva stats and skills. You have 3-star stats. Magic base instead of attack base. Very opposite of what Ifrit does. High MP, high magic, pretty good spirit, but very poor defense, very poor HP and attack. Gives you 50% up to 70% ice resist, 50% fire resist, negative 50% fire resist, and 100% paralyzed. Key spells is Blizzard, Blizzaga, Blizzara, and Barb Blizzard, Barb Blizzaga, Barb Blizzara. Once again, these skills you use more often than you think. Other skills, she has Stop Through, which gives 50% resistance to stop. Stop can be very annoying. Generally, right now, the only place you see it really is in Arena, but there are a few bosses, especially now in Dark Visions, that have stop capabilities. Having some resistance to stop is useful. Her other skills, defense and offense freeze, are the best breaks you can find on Espers. They're very poor now currently in the game at 40% for defense spirit for defense and attack magic for offense and single target only. But if you're desperate or once again for like a Mog King, you want to be able to break an enemy so you can kill it easier with like a level 1 unit, you can just attach Shiva and do that there. Here it's a very odd one. She has no killers, so I just kind of build her up on magic and give the defense and offense freeze. This one is very much up to you. If you want to give people some ice resistance, that's a good idea. I have stat for magic and HP, but once again, is this the tried and true method? No. There's really no good way to really build her. The Blizzaga, maybe. I use Carbuncle, which I'll show a little bit, but that's one way to build her. Ramuh is the next one, who is going to be on the next island here, on Kodos Island. Is AoE lightning magic damage, 71, 42, 10. Thunder Summit, which is down here. To unlock it, you have to clear a lightning quest from Fleece's Town, which is right here. All you have to do is give number 2 a Turbo Ether. If you don't have a Turbo Ether, it's sold in the shop here. And once you do that quest, it will unlock Thunder Summit. Base stats, fairly similar to actually Shiva, except a little bit hot and cold. And actually that defense magic is 7640 and defense is over here. Key spells, gives up to 70% lightning, minus 50% water, and 100% silence resist. It gives 50% demon and 50% stone magical killers. These magical killers are very important. Excuse me. Key spells is Blind, Bar Thunder, Blind, Thunder, Thundaga, and other skills is Training Praja. But in all honesty, you're just going to focus on magic, the 2 killers, and I went with a stat reflection boost with Barthundera and Barthunder coming along with it. But the key ones here are getting these 2 killers. Then getting anything else is optimal. Next one is Diabolos. Diabolos is finally off this island and into Darnado. And I'm actually going to probably run out of time before maintenance to get through all this, so I do apologize. Diabolos 1-star can only be Wicked Peaks. To do that, you gotta go through Damaja and talk to person 1, then person 2. So here's Damaja, and then Peaks is way up top here. It is a magic damage 80, 170, 300. It is a very slow summon, so you can use this to cap anyone that has a dark magic, or sorry, a Esper kill. It is one of the slowest after the summon animation. Key stats here, interestingly, is high MP and high-ish magic with average all the way around, up to 70% dark resist, minus 50% light, and 100% poison resist. Gives 125 physical and 75% magic to human and demon killers. Diabolos is used for a lot of boss kills because of these killers. Key spells are not all that important. Gravity, Gravaga, Death, Blinded, Bioga. Other skills, Mug, which allows you to steal, is not that important. This reduced encounter, though, is actually important for the Asura and Bahamut stages, as they have incredibly high encounter rate and very annoying enemies, so having this reduced encounter is actually not that bad of an idea. You can see with the build here, I focused on the two killers, and then was able to just kind of fill out the rest, but there really wasn't much left. I did get gravity as well, but that was more just to get the magic here. That wasn't a key add, it's just trying to get more of that magic skills overall. Alright, Carbuncle. It's in the next one, which is Odin. So, I've actually got to find it. Water Shrine from the town of Ramuh, and then it gives you to the Carbuncle Grove. Carbuncle's very interesting, and honestly not used very often for the summon itself. It reflects this one magic spell for 2 to 3 to 4 turns to the allies. 1 star, 2 star, 3 star. To unlock the dungeon, you need to follow the following prerequisite: clear the Water Shrine dungeon. You do not need to up through here, but do not need to do the Water Shrine exploration. Then you need to go to Amor, talk to the man, go to the cave north of town, enter the cave. You'll have a cutscene with Carby, talk to the man once again in the middle of Amore, and then leave, and you will finally have Carbuncle Grove unlocked. Carbuncle is useful because of his key spells: Bar Thunder, Bar Fire, Bar Blizzards. Can reflect SPR plus 10, HP 10, and give you 1 LS per turn. But stat-wise, very high spirit, decent magic, very low, actually decent defense too, but from an attack skill, very, very poor, and magic is average. Can give up to 70% light, minus 50% dark, and 100% disease resistance, and gives 50% physical spirit killer. So with this build, you see that I have a 50% the physical killer here, and I went with Bar Thundaga, Bar Blizzaga, and Bar Firaga. Once again, you use these skills a lot more than you would think, and it is a very important skill. Odin is the next one. Eroded Castle. I've actually got to remember which one it is. I believe it's actually Zoldad. Yes, talk to downtown Zoldad, and you go to the Eroded Castle here. Now, Odin is a very useful one, where he does physical damage, 100, 200, 210. And remember, it's physical damage, not magic damage, like the others. And there is no element, so it is neutral. And if you need to do a kill with bosses, this is not a bad one. And at 2 and 3 star, it has a chance, instead of doing physical damage, to inflict death. So for Arena, this is the summon that you're going to cast all the time, at 50 or 60% at 2 star and 3 star. So His stats: good HP, very good attack, very good defense, above average magic and spirit, and MP. So he's good with stats. Gives 100% paralyzed resistance. No elemental buff, so he's unique in that regards. And also notice that he does not have any boost to elements, so he's one of the ones that you've got to use Esper or only on if you want to give more SP. He also, very importantly, gives 125% physical and 75% magical dragon and 50% physical undead killer. Key spells is none. He has 2 HP plus 10 skills, which is good. Can give you 20% attack if equipped with a katana or spear. Finger Snap is a very important ability. It allows you to basically attack with a Dispel. Has no fear, non-parallel, mirror of equity, blade bash, which also allows you to chain. The summon once again has kill percentages here, but not bosses. Very useful in arena. So for me, got Finger Snap. Finger Snap is very important. You use that very often. I also got the Dragon and the Undead Killer here. And I did Blade Evocation as well. But in all honesty, these 180 can be spent other areas as well. But this is how I kind of would build an Odin at base SP for 3-star. Next is Titan. So he is in Mysidia. So he is unlocked in Sorcerer's Hideaway or Cave of Titan, which is here. You have to go all over the place in this whole area in order to unlock him. He does earth physical damage at 80x, 170x, and 220x. In order to unlock him, first you have to clear the Magi Training Grounds to unlock the Mysidia Tower Dungeon and watch a cutscene there. Then go to Mysidia Underground Exploration and talk to this person here. Then clear Fina's Psyche Canyon right here to unlock the Mysidia Tower Top Dungeon and watch the cutscene there. Then you go back to Sorcerer's Hideaway and finally can unlock the Cave of Titan. There's a lot of steps, but it's really not that annoying. From stats, very high HP, very high attack, okay defense, very poor spirit, magic, and MP. Gives you 70%, up to 70% earth, 50%, negative 50% wind, and 100% stone resistance. Key spells, Barstone, Barstoner, Bastonaga, Stone, Stoner, Stonaga. These are a bit more useful. Other skills are down here. They're really not all that good. You could see I did get Geocross Rock Brusher, but that's more because of this attack. Focus on getting as much attack as possible and as much the earth resist as possible. No killers, unfortunately, so he's not as used as much. HP Stroll, you can see I've got here that in Exploration gives you HP Walk. Once again, not very useful, but just walking there to get the defense. Really, he's kind of odd. I almost should have put some instead of going around here to maybe getting Barstone or Barstonga, but my Golem has it, so that's why I didn't go here. But if you want to build him through here, that's not a bad idea at all. Lakshmi, Lordless Castle Interior, which is up here in... I always forget that there's two here. In Granoa, Duggle Village. I think it's in a weird spot here. Lordless Interior Castle. Let's talk to Duggle Village. Not a huge fan of this map. And then it will talk to this person in the underworld Umbrella. These are the two maps, or two cities, and then you will unlock the Lordless Castle Interior. Now, she is very interesting where she restores HP to all allies at 50, 75, and 100%, and she has some very unique skills that you should focus on. Her stats are actually fairly meddling. Decent MP, okay HP, and very high spirit. Below average rest of her stats. She has no killers, but 100% gives 100% confusion resist. Key spells are Cure, Curata, Stona, Asuna. Stona's might be the only one that's useful, but not really. Can give you Spirit 10, Defense plus 10, and HP plus 2 HP plus 10s. But what is very important is she has Charming, Unstoppable, Assuring, Walking, and Softening Protection. These are the ones that are very important, especially Charming and Unstoppable Protection, as that prevents being charmed and from being stopped. And this is what we use for a lot of dark visions in case we see enemies that are doing that. And you could see all I went for is Charming and Unstoppable Protection, and then just kind of filled out with stats. Don't worry about any of the other skills from there. It would have been nice to get the HP plus 10 and 8 for these two here. That's where I... 3, 2, 1. Alright, so Tetra Sylphid can be obtained after you defeat them in Sylph's Cavern. Right here. To unlock the dungeon, you have to go to Clouds of Lasting Light, go to the Exploration, go to City of Illusion, and talk to the ghost in front of the crystal. Go back to the Clouds of Lasting Light, and defeat Clear Walking after you beat the boss by selecting Continue. And then you will unlock Sylph's Cavern. She is a AoE wind magic damage of 90x, 180x, and 230x. And you can go through there. And as I say, she is a wind magic damage. Her stats, she has good magic, okay MP, okay HP, poor attack, poor defense, and below average spirit. She can give 50% up to 70% wind resistance with minus 50% earth and 100% sleep resistances, and also 125% physical and 75% magical bird killers. Her key spells are Arrow, and Aeroga, and also Aeroga. Other interesting skills, she could get 5% physical evasion, 5% magical evasion, camouflage, and the others are not as good. So what I did here is I got camouflage and the bird killers, and I did the 20% wind resists. The last one for the areas here is Bahamut. He has an AoE magic damage. This is the one that if you want to do magic damage, will do high magic capping at 300x and 2500x. We're going to go to the realm of Dragon King. You walk around and go to the Eternal Summit after defeat, and to get there, and you need to get a rat tail, which has to be equipped to your items before you go to the dungeon in order for it to work. Once again, it's an AoE magic damage, very high magic damage, even at 2 stars. And in Japan, we've got the 3 stars overall here. Stats and skills, very high across the board stats. Also very interesting. Has a lot of aquatic, beast, bug, machine, plant, undead, physical, and magical killers at 50%. You need to completely fill out the grill to get all these killers. I highly suggest it. Generally here, you just kind of choose which killers you want. I currently have a fully leveled up Bahamut. And in Japan, they do have the 3-star. I'm just showing the 2-star here. I highly suggest that you focus on the 3-star. Once the 3-star, try to fill that out as well, because it gives out a lot more of those very awesome killers. Very high quality Esper here. Now, we are done with this world. Now let's go to Palladia to get these Espers. The first one is Fenrir. And going in here, Fenrir, which is right here, Howling Mountains. To unlock the, you have to clear the labor camp, which is right here, outside labor camp, or inside labor camp, sorry, which is here. Then you clear a quest of Future Dragon Dragoon's Village to unlock the secret passages to Duke's Mansion. Then you talk to the person Olaf for dialogue. Return to the world map to open up Howling Mountains. Fenrir is a very interesting one that increases attack, defense, magic, spirit, 50, 80, and 120% for 3 turns to all allies, and at 2 and 3 stars can negate 1 physical attack, aka give you a dash for 3 turns to all allies at the either 2-star or 3-star form. So the boost here is not the most interesting part. It's just basically giving you a dash to everyone. Now, his stats are actually decent across the board for attack and magic and HP, but MP is okay. Defense and spirit's low. He's a very attacking Esper. Can give you up to 70% ice resist, up to 35% dark, minus 50% fire, minus 25% light, and 100% stone resistances, but has no killers. And this is kind of where he's not nearly as good as he could be because he has no killers. Also note that he has 2 elements that he's aligned to for when you're feeding him. So he's an easier one to level up. These other skills are not really all that important. Basically, what I just focuses on is just to get your elements, and then you can get your attacks here and then attack 10%. Overall, he's not. I don't use him a great deal. He's actually a very good. Instead of going for attack here, if you go for magic. What you can do instead is he's great for Terra, who's not looking for any killers. So the summoners do like Fenrir because he has the ability to give very high magic as well. The next one after this is Leviathan, who is in Gungan. And here's the runes of the Water God. Talk to the nature capital Natura here. Talk to the one person there and unlocks Leviathan, who does very high water magic damage at 280x, 380x, and 400x. Also note that Nicole has artifacts or STMRs that can really boost up Leviathan's damage, so he can also be a finisher as well, but unless if the enemy is weak to water and you can imperil it even greater, Bahamut will almost always be the better solution, especially once Bahamut gets to a 3-star. The stats and skills, high HP and MP, very high magic, above average to average in defense, spirit, and attack, gives up to 50 up to 70% water, 25 up to 30%, 5% wind, minus 50% lightning, minus 25% earth resistance, and 100% silence resistance. Gives 75% physical and 125% magical, aquatic, and spirit killers. These killers are very rare. Other key spells are Bar Water, Bar Watera, Bar Waterga, Waterwa, and the others not so important. So you can see that I went for the killers here. I also have a Bar Water. Didn't really fill out. My Leviathan's almost full, so I do have all of these skills. These skills are very, very good. I'm going to stop leveling up my Leviathan, though, and focus on Bahamut when Bahamut comes out again. but I do like Leviathan. I don't know why, but this is the one that I chose to fill out next. So the next one after is Phoenix. It goes to Crystallis, Underground, to unlock the dungeon, go to Kappa Village. Actually, sorry, I got this mixed up here. It is actually done here in Visectrum, but we'll just go through. Phoenix stats and skills, good HP, good spirit, middling the rest, and decent MP. 50% up to 70% fire, 25 to up to 35% earth, minus 50% ice, minus 25% wind, and 100% disease resist. Gives 75% physical and 125% magical undead killers. Key spells is Raise, which can be useful. Also note that this AoE fire magic damage is smaller, but can revive all KO'd allies and give 10, 40, and 90% health. So it doesn't have as much boost, but it can revive your units. Gives some other skills here. Auto Med is and Auto Potion is interesting, but not really all that useful anymore. So overall, here's the skills that I go for the killers and go for one of the elements. That's what I chose. Next one is Alexander. It's I think out here in Rubina. I'm actually totally forgetting exactly where it's at. Do apologize, but to unlock the dungeon, you go to the city Dendrilo, talk to this person on the map, and you get Sacred Valley. It's actually a very easy quest. It is an AoE light magic damage at 50x, 140x, and 210x. Alexander stats: average HP at 81,000, low MP, low attack, good magic, high defense, and very high spirit. Gives you 50 up to 70% light resist, 25 to up to 35% lightning resist, minus 50% dark, and minus 25% water with 100% poison resist. Gives 125% physical and 75% magical machine killers. Key spells: Banish, Dispel. Also has Machina, Castle Cannon, High Caliber Siege Artillery, Magic Cover, Thunder's Light Veil, and this Divine Castle's Protection we used very much in Dark Visions. This is a very good skill. I don't have it here. Actually, no, I do have it here. It is a very useful skill that I use very often, and you notice that I got the killers as well. So the next one is Anima. Anima can be defeated in the Pit of Chains. You go to Visectrum here, to the town, and then the change is all the way at the end here. Does dark magic damage, 42, 120, 210x. Stats and skills: low HP, low MP, above average attack, high magic, good defense, very high spirits, 50% up to 70% dark, 25 up to 35% water, minus 50% light, minus 25% lightning, and plus 100% confusion resists. Key spells are Dark Gra, Shard by Darkness, Darkest Depths. 5% LB damage is good, and 25% LB Fillstone rate is pretty good too, but this 5% limit damage is the key. I have the 5% limit damage taken here, along with the elemental resist and the water resist, but there are no killers, so it is still a very useful one. Asura is a AoE physical damage and very high physical damage. Right now, JP does not have a 3-star Asura, but it's probably coming soon. 1-star Asura can be attained after you defeat her at the ruins. It is in Rubina. You can see the 6 realms here. This is a very annoying dungeon. You must be at least rank 108. So you can see your rank here. I'm actually doubled that rank now. And this is a very annoying dungeon, just like Bahamut's a very annoying dungeon. Use the second exit of the Exploration Pearl Cavern Exploration to unlock all of the skills. You can see that there are actually 6 here. And then you can unlock Asura's Palace. It is a very long grind. Asura, 2-star stats. Good, very, very good overall, just like Bahamut. Can give up to 15% fire, up to 15% ice, and up to 15% lightning. Also gives 50% physical and magical human killers. So this is actually a very good Esper too. Other skills, Mask of Rage and limit per turn. You can see here that I focus on the killers, and then you could just choose one of these 3 at random. Really, it's good to at least to try to get all of these through that. That will make Asura very useful. The rest of these skills are okay. If you want to fill all this up, I don't think you need to get the 1 limit per turn or the Mark of Rage, but giving up everything else here as well, but that will take you some time. The last one is actually back. Kokyru can be defeated in Raven Falls Basin. You go back to Cyan, which is in Lapis. And go to farm. And Cyan is here. The River Falls Basin is there. We're in maintenance. So, X out the world map. It's a water magic damage. Very good damage at 280, 380, 400, just like Leviathan. Stats has very high HP and MP, good attack, okay magic, okay defense, okay spirit, 50% up to 70% water, 25 up to 35% earth, 50% lightning, 25% wind, and 100% paralyzed resist. Can give up to 125% physical and 75% magical, aquatic, and stone killers. Key spells are water, stone, dark. Other skills: 30% attack with a bow, 20% katana, another finger snap, Merc, Flood, Fisher, Tremor. Here I grabbed finger snap, the ended 2 killers. Those were my goals. So it's been a long video, and I do apologize, but if you've got any questions or you want to see other in-depth videos, please let me know in the comments down here. Also, please give this a like or a thumbs up, and also subscribe to the YouTube channel, as I will be trying to do more and more of these in-depth videos as time goes on. But once again, I would like to thank everybody, and good luck.